That's a disgusting mess. But I mean, I guess like we've been sailing around with like a broken mast this whole time. Okay, I mean, this doesn't look that great. I'm taking a little break here. Winter is coming, and that means no more sailing this year. We're about to take the boat on land and start the whole refit process of this 51-year-old sailboat. Now, if you're new around here, my name is Adam, and together with my girlfriend Sally and our little baby captain, we bought this 32 feet sailboat around 3 or 4 months ago with no prior sailing experience, and with the goal of learning how to sail, then refitting the boat, and then sail down to the Mediterranean next year. And on that first point, I mean, we are getting pretty comfortable sailing this sailboat, which is awesome in such a short period of time. And now we have come to the refitted part. And we have also absolutely zero experience like refitting boats or doing any kind of construction work or anything like that. So this will also be a bit of a challenge. And it is actually quite stormy and wavy today, even inside the marina here. So I do apologize if I'm kind of flying around a bit or the wind noise gets a little annoying sometimes. I even had to tie up a few extra lines just to try and keep the boat more steady because we're really, all of us, getting thrown around a lot in here. But today I'm gonna get started, I guess, preparing the boat. Jesus. I also have no neighbor boat on this side where the wind is coming from, so I'm just taking the brunt force of the wind here. But yeah, I am going to start preparing the boat to get hauled out in, I think we haul out in 10 days. And there's a lot we need to get in order before that. And one of them is to get the sails off and the mast off. And we have to do that by ourselves somehow. We have no clue how that's going to work out. But then when we do the actual hauling out, it is like there's a tiny, I guess, yacht club here in this small town. So we all kind of do it together, and you pay like $100 and then we all get hauled out. But basically it's about getting the boat ready so that we can start with the refit when we get up on land. And I guess it's also about like preparing for what we're going to do. We have a lot of work ahead of us on this boat. One of the important projects is fixing a few leaks that we got. And there's this one spot over here, down here in the nav table thing. You can see that the wood is completely rotten out. And actually in, well, one of our first sailing videos, I thought that I fixed this issue because I thought I found the leak and kind of fixed it. So I thought the leak was coming like from here, from like this bench here, because this used to be like a pilot berth, but then previous owner kind of cut a hole and put batteries in here, which I think is very stupid. I mean, out in the elements. So we're also gonna change all of that. And there was like a pretty big gap like down here, and I thought that the water was coming in just from the sides under there. But last week we had a huge rainfall and it was very wet in here, so I did some searching. Where could the water be coming from now if it's not from this spot? And I found it. So out here in the storm we have this stanchion over here, and as you can see, it moves quite a lot. And if we look a little closer, when I move it, you can see the whole, basically this whole part here is just loose. And this black stuff is caulk that I guess the previous owners at some point tried covering this leak. But I think it's fair to say that that's not working. And I guess it's also not that great that it's all loose. And I kind of went over and looked at most of the stanchions, and a few of them are kind of loose, like the whole base is just loose. So that's one more thing we gotta fix. And actually, we want to completely gut this whole navigation table area. Like, we just don't need this table, and it actually takes up a huge amount of space in this tiny sailboat. So like, I think we want to do something kind of, I guess, more integrated into the kitchen, because we have a very tiny kitchen space here. And if we are going to be sailing long term and, well, living on this boat for many months at a time, we need like a better kitchen than this. And I mean, then we just like need new countertops, more storage for kitchen items. We want to have like a fridge, freezer kind of thing. So the idea is to have a lot of that here. And yeah, the electrical work is also going to be a big part of this whole refit, because if we need to live on this boat, we need just more power. So we got ourselves 2 big lithium batteries. I think we're gonna have like 560 amp hours, and then we need some solar to go along with that. And we just need to replace a lot of the lights, well, all of the lights, outside, inside. A lot of the wires are just nasty. Have a look at this. Down here in the floor. I mean, that's a disgusting mess that we need to have a look at. And another big thing, because we want to live here, is we need a place to take a shower. My perhaps a little bit crazy idea is to build a shower in here. Okay, let's have a look. Right, there's this tiny kind of hallway here before we hit the V-berth. And then we have the little toilet here on the side. So my idea is to kind of make this whole thing into, I guess, one kind of big wet room, I suppose, so that we can take a shower basically right here. We already have this door here, which can close off into the V-berth. So I think we can kind of repurpose that, hopefully. And then we need just some kind of door for this hallway here. And I mean, then of course we need to do something so it's waterproof and like the water can run down here and make like a little sump down here, I suppose. Let's just pull up some floor here. But the good thing is, like, I think we should have space for it here. Like, we can do something on top of, well, we can use some of this space to make a little sump pump. As I mentioned, we have to unstep the mast before we haul out, and we have to kind of do that ourselves. Like, there is a little mast crane here at the dock, but I mean, I've never tried that. I have no idea what to do. But I just got a call from one of the members here at the yacht club, and he says that he and one other guy, they usually do it together, and you know, I could of course join them and we could all help each other out. So that is awesome. So I think I just want to go like have a look, really inspect, I don't know, the mast, kind of take a look at how you would actually do it, what I need to take off and unhook and yeah, whatever. All right, so we have the in-boom furling mainsail here, which we need to get off, and then the genoa up there we need to take off. Now, I don't think I want to do that today when it's so stormy, so hopefully I can come back in a few days when it's a little bit more chill, and then we'll take off the sails. But the boom here is pretty big, and there's this, I don't know what this is called in English, so I'm guessing we need to get this dude off. Honestly, I don't know if this looks good or bad. I mean, it's a little bit rusty down here. I mean, you can see that there's a little angle there. Is it supposed to have that or not? Like you can see, it's a little bit beat up in some places, like here. Again, I don't know if this is very bad or not. It doesn't really impact anything with the sails here, but you can see it has taken like a big hit right there at one point. Never actually used this winch that's here on the mast. Okay, I mean, this doesn't look that great. It's like a loose bolt. Oh shit, that really doesn't look that good. Right, so I'm guessing this is like the mast foot, I think it must be called. But if you see here, you can see this bolt. It's just loose. And basically it looks like, you can see there's a hole here. It looks like there was one here that this bolt came through at one point. But something has just broken off completely right here. Shit. Alright, so I just had to come inside. The wind's really going crazy out there, so I hope you could hear some of what I was saying. But I mean, I guess like we've been sailing around with like a broken mast this whole time. I don't think that's great. Okay, quick Google later. As far as I understand it, I mean, like the rigging is of course holding the mast in place, and then it sits in that mast step where that bolt went through. So obviously one bolt is not gonna be responsible for the whole mast, but I think the bolt was kind of responsible for the mast not like sliding back and forth. I mean, I suppose the danger here is if there's like a big blow to whatever, accidental jibe, something like that, that the mast would kind of come straight out of that step, and I mean, then there would just be no mast. Of course, that hasn't happened. We've been lucky enough for it not to happen, but I suppose it's not ideal to sail around like this. I actually wanted to start, I guess, clearing out the boat today or getting the sails off, but it's just too windy for a lot of this. I mean, if I start taking the cushions out, put them on the dock, they're just gonna fly away. So I'll be back tomorrow or in a couple of days whenever the wind is a bit more chill. It is a few days later and the wind has finally decided to calm down a little bit. In fact, it's actually almost no wind today, which is perfect because I want to take off the sails, at least try to do that. But before we get to that, I just want to empty out the boat of all the stuff that is not gonna be here while we're doing the refit. So basically I'm just gonna leave the tools and then take everything else back to the house. So let's just get on with it and start clearing out the boat. Awesome, the boat is now basically empty except for like the tools and these kind of things. So let's just have a quick look and see what it's like empty. So actually pretty spacious, and there's loads of room underneath all of this that we're not utilizing yet. But here is usually where you can, well, put the table. But we are going to like, well, make this exact setup more permanent and have like basically a daybed sofa right here. And then on this side, make kind of a table here in the middle, so we can have a little table and, well, eat and work. But we just kind of learned that we spend most of our time when we're just chilling at the boat here, especially at nighttime, in the evenings. You know, we just lounge around on the couch thing here with the baby. All right, so let's just check out the V-berth here, because also got some space here. There's batteries and stuff, and here we have the bow thruster right here. So I also got to figure out like how this works and everything, so I guess I can problem solve it if something goes wrong with it at some point. But yeah, still quite a lot of space up here that we're not using at all. So here in the V-berth there's this, I guess, kind of carpet on the wall, which is, you know, getting kind of old and a little bit nasty, and it's just ugly. So we want to replace that, and I figured why not just try and pull it out now. Then we can at least see what we are working with. Oh. Okay, so of course the carpet runs like in behind this little cabinet thing up here. So I'll probably need to take this out before I can get all of the carpet off. But at least we can see what's behind it here. This is gonna need definitely some sanding, and then however you treat and paint this. And you know, then we have to figure out what exactly we want to do with the walls in here. Right, before I start pulling the whole boat apart, let's do what we actually came here to do and take down the sails. Pulling the boat apart, that is for one of the next videos. I start with the Genoa. So I have just looked at some guides on how to actually do this, as this is my very first time. But it seems simple enough. I pull the sail all the way out. Then I go to the front of the sail and unhook it here from the roller. Then I go back to the mast and try to find the halyard that is keeping up the sail. It takes me a minute or two to find it because I haven't actually played with this one before. So I loosen it, and then I should be able to just pull the sail down. But something is not right. The sail is completely stuck. I simply cannot pull it down at all. I try everything I can think of and see if I can spot anywhere where it could be going wrong, but nothing. Right, I'm taking a little break here because I can't get that headsail down. I mean, I've spent the last hour or so just trying to get it down and see if I could figure out what's wrong. I guess I've come to the conclusion that it must be like the halyard that's stuck somewhere inside the mast on the top, but I can't like see anything. I can't really figure it out, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get it unstuck. So a little break is needed, and perhaps I'll try and take out the mainsail instead to have some bit of success today. With the mainsail, it goes a lot smoother. I roll out the sail completely. It is an in-boom furling sail. And then I unhook the sail here at the end of the boom. I loosen the halyard, and then I can actually just pull the sail down. I try to keep it as neat as possible here on deck, But once I got the sail down, I move it onto the dock and fold it together so I can easily transport it to our house. Awesome. I mean, the mainsail, that went a lot smoother, so I'm really happy with that. Now, I still haven't figured out the head sail, so I'm gonna have to call it a day and probably get some assistance elsewhere, see how I can get that thing unstuck or down or whatever. But yeah, we're very close to getting the mast off, then hauling out, and then starting the real work on refitting this boat. So hopefully you're also excited about seeing this 51-year-old boat turn into something a little more modern and a little more nice to live on and sail long distances in. So stick around for that, and I'll see you next time.